It is the Flow Friday Night Sports Show, and it's time for us now to have a look at Mallee netball. Confusing lay of the land there at the moment, but joining me on the line to help us go through what happened last week and why nothing's happening this week, Nicole McMahon joins us. How are you, Nicole?
I'm all right. Thanks, Jason. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Going to take you back to last week first before we have a look at what's coming up. And we'll talk about the two games that were played in the A grade because Murrayville couldn't play Pinaroo for some reason. At that point, they couldn't cross the border. Is that right?
They were in lockdown, yes, that's correct. So they were unable to play last week. So all games were cancelled and called a draw.
That's right. So we move on to the games that were played, and we might start with your crew, Lamaru, who finished the minor round with a solid 11-goal win over Pekin Districts, who put up a pretty good fight.
Yeah, they did. It was a great end, I think, to peak season. They've had a lot of ins and outs, and probably their major out was Bianca Carl, who injured herself. I reckon it was first round. And she finally got back for the last match, and she made a huge difference. But their whole team played really well, though, and really gave it a good crack. Probably disappointing for them to show, they probably could have been a bit more competitive for this season had they had, perhaps Bianca, who's just a fantastic target for them in goal shooter. So it was a really good hit out. Lamaru really had to, give it our all too. We had a few players back that would be missing. Gemma Rampke was one who injured herself in round 2 versus Pinaroo. So she was really great to have her back, finding her feet again, and she did a really good job. Good 11-goal win to Lamaru. A lot closer than what it's been in previous rounds. I reckon it was 30 goals the last 2 times they played. Just fantastic to be out there and playing netball after a few weeks off.
Yes, indeed. So that leads us to the other match that was played last week, which was BDT taking on Karuna Districts. And the top side, BDT, did what they had to do over the 4th-ranked side ahead of finals. So they ended up having a reasonably comfortable 12-goal win, 41-29. Yeah,
they did. And I did think this might happen. Karuna actually beat BDT last time. And I think after that, Borders thought, this will show you what we're made of, being the top side. And they did have a really good game. It did look like there was a few players missing from each team. Emily Richo, who's a very dominant goal attack, only played a quarter, and Karuna's Shaylin Pate was out also, who's quite a strong goalkeeper. So both teams, some players missing, but top side Borders had a very good win against Karuna. On to finals now.
Yes, indeed. And look, before we go, we'll go through the ladders first before we talk about what's not happening this weekend and why. So the final ladder in the A grade finished as follows. BDT on top with 11 wins, 2 losses. Pinaroo, 9 wins, 3 losses, but an extra premiership point than Lamaru, who had 9 wins and 4 losses because of that extra draw against Murrayville there. So whilst you had a greater percentage and finished on the same number of wins, they had the extra premiership point, Pinaroo, to finish second on the ladder, right?
Yeah, that's it. But I think Lamaru, we're not all that disappointed. We think for us to be successful, we actually are looking forward to having to come in on 2 wins.
Yeah.
I think previously, we've finished top, and you kind of take it for granted a bit, and you might sail your way in, and it is a little bit too easy. So we're looking forward to the challenge. Lamaru, of course, will have to face up against Karuna, who we lost by 1 goal to, which we're still obviously kicking ourselves about because it's cost us a top 2 spot. But really looking forward to playing them again next week. Borders and Pinaroo, always top sides, were always in that top 2 or 3. So no surprises seeing them up there.
That's right. So you mentioned Karuna there, who finished 4th, 6 wins, 7 losses. Pekin District, just the 1 win for the season for them. And Murrayville, who were winless and finish with the season with, I think, an unusual record, the most premiership points for a team that's finished bottom of the ladder when they haven't had a win.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, they had, what did they miss out on, 4 or 5 games, I think, in the end. only actually one game more than Peak, because as we've said in previous weeks, 2 of their forfeits ended up being against Peak, so they've only actually missed one game more than Peak.
Yep.
But yeah, 5 premiership points is pretty impressive for a team that didn't have a win. They were still competitive though, and they, like I saw, they had a few players in and out every week, which didn't help things, and just never really got to find their form. When you miss 2 or 3 or 4 games in a row, it doesn't leave much in the tank. So yeah.
Just a quick look at the other grades. Lamaru on top in the A reserves, 12 wins and 1 loss for the year. BDT, 11 wins, 2 losses in second. Peak and Districts will play finals in the A reserves, 5 wins for them. Pinaroo had 5 wins as well. They're fourth. Murrayville and Karuna Districts missed the finals there. Murrayville finishing this season with 3 wins in the A reserves. In the B grade, we've got BDT on top of the ladder, 11 wins and 2 losses. From Peak and Districts, 8 wins and 3 losses. Murrayville will play finals there. That's their only finals representation, I believe, in Mallee netball. 6 wins for the year. Lamaru, 6 wins for the year to make the finals in B grade. Karuna and Pinaroo miss out there. And then we go to the juniors, where Pinaroo, Karuna Districts, Peak and BDT finished in that order in the 15 and unders. And in the 13 and unders, it was Pinaroo, Karuna, Lamaru and BDT, with Peak bottom of the ladder there. So we're into finals now, but we're not playing this week. Why?
We're so close, but so far away. The decision was made by the league on Sunday evening that we would give it another week to see, of course, at that stage, regional Victoria were in lockdown. So on Sunday evening, we decided we'd give it one more week to see what comes of it and if Murrayville were able to compete in finals. And then they were going to reassess on this coming Sunday. Of course, Monday, the announcement was made that regional Victoria is out of lockdown, and we've since learnt that due to the border bubbles, they would have been able to come over and play finals. But it's been a really, really complicated situation, and hats off to the league and the delegates. They have been doing a huge amount of work behind the scenes to try and get it all happening. So, we'll meet again on Sunday. Hopefully it all looks all clear, and we will finally start finals next weekend. Pity we're missing out on some beautiful sunshine this weekend, but next weekend we're going to we've changed our fixture for finals. We're going to do a Saturday, Sunday, which I think we're really looking forward. It's something we've actually spoken about for a few years to trial.
Yep.
So Saturday will be the second semi, which will be first versus second teams, and the Sunday will be third versus fourth teams. And if Murrayville are able to play, we will, I think, do all finals at Lamaru and Pinaroo, because that will be within the 70K border. So all that's subject to change, so no one take that as gospel. But yeah, really excited to get cracking. I think there's been a few other announcements made recently. We're going to be doing the medal count, I think, for both netball and football is going to be via online, so Zoom, which will be interesting. I think, obviously, here and now we could host them, given, you've got a big enough room. But just with everything changing constantly, we thought this way the clubs who are hosting can just get organised, won't have to change their plans 50 times. So that is the plan for now.
That's the lay of the land. That's the plan right now, subject to change, but makes sense to me. So, well, Nicole, enjoy the weekend off as you get ready for finals. All the best. And next week when we talk, we'll be previewing them. So look forward to that. Take care.
Yeah, sounds great. Thanks, Jason.